Hey y'all, it's your girls Fire and TG, and together we're Awazi.
Catch us every Thursday. Yeah, you heard that correctly.
Thursday,
3:30 to 5 p.m. on 104.7 EBC FM.
Come for the good music and stay for the spicy topics. Awazi, let's spice it up. Hey y'all, it's your girls Fire
and TG,
and together we're Awazi.
Catch us every Thursday. Yeah, you heard that correctly.
Thursday,
3:30 to 5 p.m. on 104.7 EBC FM.
Come for the good music and stay for the spicy topics. Awazi, let's spice it up. Hey y'all, we're back at it.
Goodness gracious.
This is the Awazi Show here on ABC 104.7 with the birthday girl, my girl TJ.
Let me clear my throat.
Hey.
How was everybody's day, man?
We've had one cup of coffee and I think it's legit.
Is that what it is?
Because me and TG other days we have to have so much coffee to get to this point. We had one good cup of coffee and we're straight.
The Crack H energy is all over the place, but I hope you guys are tuned in and having a good afternoon. It's hot out there, so find you some shade.
Child.
And tune into the show. Hit us up on our Telegram at Awaze Media, AWAZE MEDIA, even though you have to change your entire location to be able to get the access to the internet to hit us up.
And make sure to shout out to my girl here. She is celebrating today. She's the B-Day queen today.
Tis my birthday,
so show my sister some extra love.
Yes sir.
So we said today's show we wanted to just address the hectic week that's been going on since Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, today.
Goodness gracious.
Want to start off with World Radio Day?
Yes, I do actually. The fact that it's a day before Valentine's Day is funny to me, but in 2011, member states of the UNESCO adopted the United Nations General Assembly International Day of World Radio Day. So February 13th it became World Radio Day. I mean, we've been in radio for years and years and years and years and years for people who are as young as us. And we've always talked about radio in the exact same sense that it is such a powerful medium to be able to communicate with the world. It is such a powerful platform to have as well. And it is still, to this day, even with all the podcasts and the YouTube and everything that's going on, at the global level, radio remains the most widely consumed medium. And its unique ability to reach out the widest audience means radio can shape a society, experience of diversity, stand as an arena for all voices to speak out and be represented and be heard. So that is what radio is for. It's not all hee and haha. We actually have a huge amount of responsibility to shape the society that is around us. We understand what our specific audience is. It is a niche audience. It is a very young audience, but we do feel a sense of responsibility as people who've been given a platform here on radio to just put out the type of messages and represent the type of voices that are necessary to shape.
I think anybody who is on radio, regardless of who you're speaking to, what your topic, is, or what the theme of your show is, you have a responsibility. You'd be surprised how many people are very impressionable by radio. You know what I mean? I know podcast is something that's becoming more and more popular, not just internationally, of course, but even within our country.
And irresponsible, too. Podcasts are allowed to be irresponsible, whereas radio's not.
Yes, there's a certain amount of freedom that you have, when you do podcast. But on radio, I think the most powerful thing, and I don't know if we are mindful of this, but the most powerful thing is who you give your ear to.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised the amount of information that you maybe unintentionally take or unconsciously take and soak in. So as people who are on radio, and we've been doing this for a while, we understand that yes, we have fun, yes, we talk about various topics, but there is a social responsibility that we have too, and we take that very seriously. So happy, World Radio
Happy
Day.
World Radio Day.
If you weren't aware of it, it's still this week, so it still counts.
You can still celebrate. It happens on February 13th. What stuck out to me this year was the theme of this year's World Radio Day. So the theme for this year, which is the 12th edition of World Radio Day, is Radio and Peace.
And I thought that was very coincidental.
I was like, are you talking to us specifically?
Because that's entirely what I thought.
That feels personal, sort of.
I was like, how did y'all know? But I think, there's just a lot going on in the world. True. And it's very reflective of what's happening in our country as well as internationally. And you can never have, too much peace.
True. Radio can be used as a tool for destruction or as a tool to construct the society, like we said before. And so, speaking of radio and peace, I think we have this huge responsibility to always try to uplift our listeners and keep everybody focused on leading with love and feeling responsibility for your community and trying to steer you all away from destructive thoughts and destructive behaviors and trying to all heal and grow and figure out life together. And radio for me is definitely a place of peace, and that is why this year's motto really stuck out to me, because regardless of what I'm going through in life, I will come and rant to thousands and thousands of people and get it off my chest and be like, what do y'all think? What do you make of this?
Because you'd be surprised how many people are going through a similar situation.
Exactly.
Experiencing a similar feeling. And I feel like radio is therapeutic for the person on the mic as well as the person listening.
Yeah.
It's been like that for me as long as I've known radio since I was a kid. And I always felt like the host were somehow my friends in real life, even though they had no idea of my existence.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that there are people who tune in who feel the same way about us.
Me too.
Who look at us as their friends, their sister, like family, because we always like to call you guys the Oaze family. We do that for a reason. So we're hoping that maybe you've felt a little bit of peace from our side, and we're hoping that we can continue to spread that peace regardless of what season or times that we're in.
Absolutely. Hit us up and let us know, what are your experiences with radio? Because we know we're in a niche little corner of our radio world, but there are so many incredible radio personalities on the air all over Ethiopia that we ourselves look up to as well. So give us a shout out, give some love to your favorite radio people out there. It doesn't have to be us, I promise. We'll just pass on the message from one radio person to another.
Yes.
And let us know how close you are to radio. How, are you a radio person? Are you somebody that does turn on the radio? Get lost in whatever the person on the radio has to say, or at least even have it be a place where you discover music. Even that is important.
It is important because, it sets the tone or the tune for your life.
I like what you did there. That was a very dad joke, but I like what you did there.
Yes, but let's get to a musical break, love. And like I said, we're celebrating my girl's B-Day.
Yes.
So you guys can hit us up if you're able to on our Telegram at Oaze Media. That's AWAZE MEDIA. Let's get to some Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Child.
We're taking it back.
It's a throwback Thursday.
I mean, it's the best way to go. I feel like there's no other way. So let's get to that, and then we'll be back after some of your favorite tunes. Don't go anywhere. Hey y'all, it's your girls Fire and TG, and together we're Oaze.
Catch us every Thursday. Yeah, you heard that correctly.
Thursday,
3:30 to 5 p.m. on 104.7 EBC FM.
Come for the good music and stay for the spicy topics. Oaze, let's spice it up. Well, what do you know, family? We're back at it again.
That was nice. I enjoyed Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Right?
Yeah.
There's some songs that give you a funky, feel-good feeling.
It does. It does. That definitely did it for me. I only listened to it on the 21st night of September, but on purpose.
Are you gonna, is it like the same, like, remember, the 5th of November?
Yes.
That's the kind of vibes you're going with? And for those of you who know what you're talking, like what I'm talking about, if you know, you know, I was quoting a movie, so hopefully you know what I'm talking about.
If you don't, I don't know. Watch more movies, I guess. That's the
This is
best advice I
iconic,
can
though.
give. This is too big of a movie and too big of a line for you to not recognize it.
Are you that kind of person where if you quote certain lines from a movie and if people don't know, do you judge them?
Honestly, I like absolutely horrible movies, so I can't judge other people. Like yesterday, I was watching Three Ninjas. I don't know if you know what that is.
Three Ninjas?
That is Mr. Miyagi and 3 of his grandkids that he trained to be ninjas.
I know Mr. Miyagi. So
Yes, in a different karate movie.
that I don't know.
It was terrible. I tried that. I at least tried to. When I was a kid, it was one of my favorite movies. And I swear to you, every Ethiopian knows what Three Ninjas is. They know what I'm talking about. And he just basically trains his very, very young 3 grandkids to karate, to be ninjas. And they defend their house from people trying to rob them, Home Alone style. But with karate. And there's like a 3-year-old knocking out grown men. It's very funny.
Is it good funny or is it bad funny?
But now that I rewatched it, it feels a little culturally insensitive.
Oh?
I was sitting there going, that's racist. I don't know. I don't know how I watched this. My young brain didn't, understand nuances.
But the thing is, I've understood that as time progresses, we have become more sensitive as a society.
Yes, we have.
So back then, that wasn't considered, I guess, culturally inappropriate.
That back then, I watched the movie. I went outside and did karate with my older brothers, as we all do. But this time, I couldn't get through because I was like, Mr. Miyagi, why did you sell out like this? This is so bad, dog. Why would you do this to your culture?
I, on the other hand, so y'all know that, for those of you who know, I'm not really a huge rom-com fan.
Yeah.
TG knows this about me, but there are some movies that make the cut. They make the absolute cut.
Okay.
And I was watching How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days because it's the 20th anniversary.
Oh, wow. So
you believe
it came out for Valentine's Day, didn't it?
It came out, I can't believe, 20 years ago. I was like, wow.
That's a good one. That's a staple. That's like top 10.
For me, one of my favorite rom-coms. And so I was like, oh. In case you haven't watched it, love.
Are you serious? I've watched every romantic comedy.
No, I mean rewatch it.
Yeah, sure.
Like, in case you haven't watched it for the anniversary. But me and TG do this all the time. We always talk about our favorite movies. I judge her from the movies that she likes because what the hell?
I like the most childish movies.
One of her favorite movies, guys, is Spy Kids 3.
Yes. Not 3 specifically. I like 1 and 2 better than I like 3.
You like the trilogy? You shouldn't have said that. You should have just kept it at 3. She was like, I like all of them.
I don't care. I love Spy Kids, you guys. And that's my taste in movies. So I am in no place to judge other people for their movie choices. But speaking of rom-coms and Valentine's Day.
Yes, ma'am.
It just happened.
Yeah.
When was it?
On Tuesday.
On Tuesday. I'm not a big Valentine's Day person, but
neither am I.
I went online and I saw so many single people complaining about about being single.
Because they're not happy about being single?
I guess because they want flowers and chocolate.
Oh.
And to the online community and to everybody around the world that's listening to this thinking, I'm sad I don't have a Valentine. Me personally, I haven't been single since high school.
Wow.
And I don't mean like it was one relationship the whole time. No, I got out of one, got into another one, and then got into another one. Mm-hmm. I was single for maybe 2-3 months in between there. And this relationship is the first time that I got a Valentine.
Oh?
That I got Valentine's Day presents, that I got roses, that I got this is the first time in my life, even though I've been in a relationship since high school.
When did he start doing them? Like
First
at the
year.
beginning?
First year.
As he should.
That we were together. So my thing is, you're not single because there's nobody that will date you.
Right.
You're single because they're not good enough.
Ooh.
Simple as that.
Yeah, I agree.
I promise you there is somebody in your DMs willing to be in a relationship with you today. And that applies to every man, woman, and child out there.
But you know what? Let's put this out there. Mm-hmm. If you are single, which by the way, I am a part of the single category, and I sent TG a picture of chocolate, red roses, wine that I got myself. I was like, I'm my own Valentine's, okay?
I'm loving on myself today.
Extra. And I was playing, the song Flowers by Miley Cyrus in the background and doing the little crazy dance in my living room. But I've understood that I think people look at singleness as a punishment, like they've done something wrong. And if you look at it like that, then you're never going to really enjoy life if you feel like your existence is only meant to be attached to somebody else's. No, I'm a whole ass person by myself. And I think if you are single, I think we need to reevaluate how we look at singleness and what it means to be single. And Valentine's Day, if it's the only day that makes you feel bad about being single, then I think that there's a fundamental problem with that.
You just want somebody to spoil you, and that can just be a best friend. It does not need to be someone that you're in a relationship with, honest to God.
Right.
And that's what I was saying, in the sense that I was in relationships with people that barely cared. But I didn't want to be alone. So most of the time I was in relationships for most of my life.
Yeah.
And like I said, every single Valentine's Day, even though I was dating somebody, I was still alone, and I felt lonely as well. So I am a firm believer that it is better to be single and happy and figuring things out than to be in a really, really bad relationship because you're running away from the idea of being by yourself.
I mean, I can 100% agree and piggyback on that. I say this as a person who has been working on myself, a person who has been more in tune with myself ever than before. Woo, child, the worst thing that you can do is be dumb and in a relationship.
Be all up in my space.
Like, first of all, I'm toxic as hell. You know what I mean? And I don't even know what I want, what I don't want. And, you know, I'm with this person and I'm not even happy. Like, I'm doing it for the optics so that I can convince the rest of you that I'm happy in this relationship when essentially I'm miserable.
Looky what my other half got me today.
That's a sad existence. And the thing is, not the last guy I dated, the last guy before that, our anniversary was on Valentine.
Oh, Jesus.
And it, you know, killed the vibe for me. But then it took a long time for me to forget that we dated, because every time Valentine's Day would come up, I'd be like, this dude. Like, it would just come up in my mind.
Yeah.
And I think the past Tuesday was the first time that I completely...
Yeah, I remember last year you did not like Valentine's Day.
I was like, I was like, I'm remembering that dude, TG. It just rubbed me the wrong way. And this year, completely forgot about all of that until the end of the day. I was like, oh, this was the anniversary of a particular relationship that I was in. I don't even feel it anymore. Like, I've completely released that energy. And so that's how I know that, you know what I mean, being single has really had a good effect on me.
That's nice.
And I know that once I go into the next relationship, I'll be a whole person, and the next person, you know what I mean, who I'm in a relationship with, I expect the same thing in return. Because if we're half people, it's gonna be a half-ass relationship.
It's gonna be a very weird way to mix two people.
Tell me about it.
But happy Valentine's Day week, happy love week. I hope y'all are loving on each other and showing each other how much you care and appreciate each other. Be thankful for your significant other. If you don't have one, be thankful you're not in a bad relationship. There's always something to be thankful for.
100%.
You just need to find it.
You need to find it. And if you don't find it on Valentine's Day, I promise you're not going to find it any other day. Because, I mean, like, why? Why is this the only day of the year that I'm miserable? Like, work on yourself, baby.
There's so much that goes on to it. And don't even get me started about the stingy significant others on Valentine's Day that complain about having to buy flowers and chocolate. It really is not that hard.
Wait, what do you mean?
I see this narrative of, I love you every day. What's so special about this day? You know, I do things for you all the time. Why do I have to pick a specific day and get you stuff? This is such a superficial holiday. I don't believe in Valentine's Day. All those little things that people put out there.
And it's also equivalent to, like, the whole, like, there are some couples that don't celebrate their significant other's birthday because it's like, oh, you're alive every day. Do I have to acknowledge this day? First of all, hell yes. So I feel like it's that same kind of energy.
Yes, and I do feel like it is one-sided. It is mostly men giving women gifts. I get that women can get you little things, but it is a man showing his woman appreciation. But like flowers and chocolate cost maybe it's not that big of a deal. She did not ask for a plane ride. It's a thoughtfulness that counts. It's the idea of saying, will you be my Valentine?
Yeah,
that's very sweet. It's something about you thinking of your significant other on the day of love.
Yeah.
as opposed to you being like, oh, why do we have to do this? Da, 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 da. I hate it. It's so superficial. It's Western.
First of all, it's completely been incorporated into our society.
Let it go. Everything outside is red.
like, stop it.
Stop fighting it. You spend that much on red. Stop. It's so rude to convince your significant other that celebrating Valentine's Day is, meaningless or whatever. It's really simple to show a gesture and show somebody, hey, I thought of you today.
One thing I do have an issue with is that, and I keep hearing this argument, that Ethiopian guys are not romantic and that we didn't grow up in a loving household and we don't know how to show that love.
Affection, yeah.
And I'm like, I get it, but a lot of us women also grew up in similar households, and yet that is not our outcome. So we need to find a solution to all of this.
Girlies, if he didn't get you at least flowers, if he wanted to, he would have.
And that's how we're going to end this segment.
Sorry to say this. We're going to wreak havoc and leave. Goodbye. We're going to be back in the second hour. We do have the news in between, but don't touch that dial because we will be back.
And it's my girl's birthday, so once again, make sure to show her some extra B-Day love if you are able to get through the Telegram at Awaze Media. That's AWAZE MEDIA. And make sure to also follow us on all social media platforms under the same name. So we'll see you guys in the second half of the hour. Do not move a muscle. Again, Awaze Show, don't go anywhere. Hey y'all, it's your girls Fire and TG, and together we're Awaze.
Catch us every Thursday. Yeah, you heard that correctly.
Thursday,
3:30 to 5 p.m. on 104.7 EBC FM.
Come for the good music and stay for the spicy topics. Awaze, let's spice it up.